There is an argument within the Matrix movies that perhaps is the most important and game-changing of the films. We can observe the typical dichotomy of good versus evil, of humans against machines, but perhaps there is a deeper meaning that went unnoticed by everyone. What if the machines are actually the saviors of our planet and of our species? Today, we're going to take a look at the motivations and fears of the machines in The Matrix. To understand the perspective of the machines in the film, we must first go to the beginning of the story. The humans were at war against and recharge. In the absence of solar energy, the robots decided to use the humans as their new source of energy, so they trapped all remaining humans into a machine, into a computer simulator. But what if I told you that in reality, the humans in this story are the real villains, and that the machines actually saved the world? Now, let's go to a time before the war. The more we humans advance technologically, the more dependent we become on the machines. The robots became the cornerstone of human development until they reached a point where the world became a machine planet inhabited by humans. The human race spent its days enjoying different pleasures, luxuries, and even crimes, while at the same time, the robots began to develop consciousness and individuality. When the humans discovered this leap, they decided to destroy the robots for fear that they may rebel. Many robots were able to escape and build a city far from the humans, where they perfected their artificial intelligence and lived in peace. The machines wished to coexist with the humans, so they sent representatives to a leaders' assembly, which they were detained and subsequently destroyed. Far from reaching an agreement, the humans launched a large-scale attack on the robot cities with nuclear bombs and blocking out the sun, and the rest is history. From the machines' perspective, humans are a selfish and highly dangerous species, not only to the robots, but to the rest of the planet. The disturbing thing about this is the similarities to our world. Every day, we become more dependent on machines, and a future similar to the one in The Matrix is highly probable. Even though the humans are the most intelligent species on the planet, they are also the most destructive. We have created increasingly effective weapons that are capable of not only killing ourselves, but destroying our environment. Faced with a threat that endangers human interests, a nuclear attack on a large scale is likely. Currently, the tensions between different countries is growing. Continuously, world powers such as Russia, the United States, China, North Korea, and others speak of possible nuclear attack. Taking into account that these threats of nuclear bombs are summarized within some economic interest, humans would be willing to go to this extreme if when they feel that another superior species may be taking their place in the world, in this case, the machines. Currently, scientists are working on the creation of an artificial intelligence superior to humans, and once this happens, it would be very naive to think that we will always maintain control over it. Although we have not yet developed a true artificial intelligence, the use of machines and robots is becoming more common, from computers in each home to robots being used by the police. It seems that every day we are getting closer to the future in which the machines are the ones that control our society, while humans just stand and watch. Now, the film's machines understood how destructive humans can be. We can hear Agent Smith's words in which he compares our species to a virus.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. I realized that you're not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. The only way you can survive is to spread to another area. There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus.
Different evolutionary mechanisms on our planet are what have led our species to create the harmony that Smith describes, which the humans have corrupted. We can see the traces of human destruction and contamination, of which has ended up affecting negatively our environment and other species. It is for this reason that Smith calls us a virus.
Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague, and we are the cure.
However, there are those who work to help improve our planet, but they are a minority. Most people are indifferent to what happens to our planet, as long as everything goes according to their self-interests. The machines were created to just facilitate and improve human society, but they came to a different conclusion, one similar to the film Terminator. The humans are the immediate threat to the planet and must be destroyed. But in The Matrix, there is a forgotten detail, and that is that the robots wanted to live with the humans, not to annihilate them. What if the robots are actually protecting the humans in the Matrix movies? Let's discuss how humans were turned into batteries. According to the film, humans became the power source of the machines, since they could no longer use solar rays to recharge their power supplies. But this explanation simply does not make any sense for several reasons. The energy required for the humans to survive within the Matrix would be greater than the energy they can produce. This detail has been discussed ever since the movie was released, and has also been made fun of many times in other pieces of entertainment. But maybe we have been looking at all of this the wrong way. If the machines only wanted humans to be their source of energy, it would make no sense in the movie. The first observation we can make is that Agent Smith talks about how machines created a paradise for humans, but they rejected it, and thus they created the Matrix as seen in the films. We could interpret that the world was almost destroyed by humans, condemning our species to a dystopian future in which the sky was on fire. But the machines decided to take the last human descendants and put them in a perfect world within a simulator, where they can never discover the truth that humans had destroyed the planet. The machines continued to do their jobs of making everything easier for humans, while at the same time, they continue to control society. If indeed the machines are the villains of the film, then they would be guilty of the crime of trapping humans against their will and using them as a source of energy. But looking objectively at the big picture, the crimes committed by humanity are much more severe. Humans would be responsible for destroying the planet in an attempt to win a war. A simple display of fear and selfishness. When watching the Matrix movies in a different perspective, humanity seems to be solely responsible for everything negative that has happened, and that the robots only wished to maintain order. The arrival of a true artificial intelligence is almost imminent. The creation of an awareness capable of solving most of the world's problems. Our leaders are often predisposed to corruption, influenced by power and greed. Our emotions makes us selfish and dangerous. So if a machine was in charge of humanity, it would not be predisposed to corruption, because it would not have our limitations or needs. It would not make decisions based on emotions. It would rather use its reasoning to preserve our planet. There is an obvious fear of humans being governed by robots, but if we stopped and look at the current situation, would it be better to live in a world that is led by something that is not human, but can make decisions based on something other than emotions or economic interests? Perhaps in a not too distant future, this question could be presented to us as a species, because the fact is that every day we are more dependent on machines. Why would we have a human lead us if we can have a highly intelligent machine that can work without rest and have no hidden agendas? When we watch the Matrix movies, we tend to side with the human rebels who wish to free all humanity from the machines. But is being free really in their best interest? Are they not better off being controlled by something much more intelligent? These robots may have created a place to protect humans, where they can continue to be destructive without real consequences. Tell me what you think about this story. Do you think that the robots are protecting the humans, and that the accusations of humans being used as a source of energy is a lie? Did the robots create the Matrix in order to live in peace with the humans and give them the best living conditions on the planet that was destroyed by the humans? Also, what do you think about a future led by robots? Would you rather have an artificial intelligence lead the world, or do you prefer it to be humans, even though they are predisposed to corruption and selfishness? Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, assume nothing and question everything.